money loves speed. A convicted closer will outperform an unconvicted closer no matter the skill set. Everyone knows that. If you can't look in the mirror and you don't have conviction in yourself as a person, you will not be a good closer for your own offer. Because showing up for yourself is a daily, second by second task. We talk ourselves out of doing the easy shit because we have the trauma of our inner child that's unsolved. And then I have burned the boats. I have no plan B. This is everything. I have to make this work. But you have to have an abundant mindset to be ready to walk away from a sale. Your external is a reflection of your internal.
You're a musician, rapper, music producer, turned into coach. Am I correct?
Yeah, music business coach.
Music business coach. And what is your story and what's your why? How did you get there to be a coach? What's your story as an artist, and what was that aha moment that you're like, oh, I want to do this for other folks? So what's your story?
Yeah, so I started doing music in 2011 as a rapper. Basically, I did pursuing the artist career for the first 7 years. And then after that, I decided I wanted to learn how to produce my own music. So I learned how to make beats, mix, and master. I saw Russ's story. I was like, oh, that's great. That's cool. That's what I want to do. Then I started figuring out I could maybe make some money with selling beats online. And I started learning from an amazing mentor named Legion Beats, who he does 7 figures a year selling beats online. So I started selling beats like using ClickFunnels. So it was like get 5 free beats for a free lead magnet, then try to upsell them as like a low ticket funnel. And it did okay, but I ended up realizing I was like, I don't really want to do this that much. Basically, it led me down the path of realizing, look, I want to wake up and just like, I just want to make music. Like that's kind of all I want to do. And I know I want to do it from home. And I couldn't figure out how to do it through the conventional music industry. Even the YouTube music marketing gurus, I was like, I'm not getting it. I don't really see the path to the money. So I was just like, I did get exposed to the online marketing world through really my first intro was Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And even that before was probably Gary V's content and social media and all that. But you know, Russell Brunson's kind of like the next, like more, a little bit more specific. So reading .com Secrets and Expert Secrets, really, as I'm reading his book, I'm thinking, how can I apply Expert Secrets to what I do? And at that time I was like, you know, I can produce music. Like I know how to make beats, mix, master. But I wasn't that good when I was reading the book. Like I'd only been producing mix mastering for like a year. So I wasn't that good. But I was like, maybe I could do this down the road. But that kind of led me down the whole like internet money path. And so I got into social media marketing agency, the SMMA world. And I started an agency helping real estate agents. Not really passionate about that, but I was like, look, I can make some money, maybe funnel that into music. My craving was I need to learn the internet marketing world. And I'm not learning it within the music world because even the music marketing people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I did that. And in that time of 2022, building my agency, then I became a closer for somebody else who was running an agency. His name was Amin Gadi, who changed my life. I still love him and talk to him to this day. Amin is great. And so I was his first closer. And I learned advertising, how to create a high ticket offer, marketing, sales, operations, tracking on spreadsheets, leadership. And you know, I decided, okay, I'm going to graduate out of this world and go back to music, but I'm going to take everything I learned and put it into music. I hired a coach to teach me music marketing as an artist. And I started running messenger ads to get people to DM me to want to hear my songs. And then in the DMs, I would basically sell my CDs in the DMs to these people, which was great. But that coach, and I feel like I was starting to get momentum there, but not a lot. I was only selling CDs for like $9. And I was married, and I'm married now, but at that time I was already married to my wife, Erica, and I wasn't making that much money. And so my coach at that time told me, hey man, like you really should consider doing like something high ticket. I was like, cool. What would that be? Like, should I do like live shows? Should I live stream shows? Should I sell like high ticket concerts? Like what would I do? And he's like, no, dude, you should do coaching. And I'm like, fuck that. Coaching's hella corny. That's stupid. He's like, no, but you really should do it. Like, you should be a coach. I'm like, no, it's corny. I don't want to be a coach. I'm not a guru. I'm not a grifter. Fuck that. He's like, okay, well, let me explain this to you. You know how people are buying your CD for $9? I was like, yeah. He's like, what if someone paid you $3,000? I was like, okay, that sounds pretty sick, but still coaching stupid. And he's like, yeah, but you already have been a coach. You're a basketball coach. You've been coaching for 5 years. You're great
Mm,
at coaching. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Cause I did love coaching. I do love
mm,
coaching, basketball and coaching. I was like, okay. He's like, and he's like, you hired me and I'm a coach and I helped you. He's like, I was like, yeah, you're right. He's like, so if you want to get to 10K a month and someone pays you 3 grand, dude, you only need like 3 or 4 people.
mm,
I was like, shit, you're kind of right. So he helped me start building that coaching program. And what I decided to do was, well, should I do a music marketing thing? Like, I was starting to kind of figure out the music marketing, but I didn't feel like I had good results. I was like, well, my skill set and my passion is really, I know how to make beats, mix, and master. Like, I'm fucking good at that.
mm,
And I'd already, dude, I was already 13 years deep into a music career. I'd had
mm.
validation that I was a dope artist, done shows, sold merch, had fans. He's like, you should teach people how to produce. So I started Rapid Fire Music Academy, where I taught recording artists how to produce music. And my wife at the time, my wife, she's still my wife. At the time, my wife was a nanny
Mhm.
and she was making $4,000 a month. I was making 2,000. She's from Colombia. I'm from the United States. She goes, I remember one day on the couch, she was like, how the fuck am I not even from this country? English is my second language. I make twice the money as you. That hurt. I was like, fuck, you're right. She's like, she's like, I believe in you. I believe in your music and I believe in your music journey, but like, you need to make some more money. This is crazy.
Mm,
So, along with basketball training at kids' houses, I got another job doing some social media work for realtors, it's a little side hustle there. And I went and got a job at my local coffee shop, Rooted Coffee Shop in Walnut Creek. 3 jobs, 7 days a week. And I didn't have, within the first 6 months of 2023, I was doing those 3 jobs. I was trying to find a coach to help me build my coaching business. And I didn't know how to run paid ads to get coaching clients. And so I was sending 50 cold DMs per day, about 4 or 5 days a week, about 200 to 250 cold DMs a week. In the first 6 months, I got about 3 clients in 6 months, a couple $1,000. But I took about 9 days off total in those first 6 months. 9 days in 6 months off.
wow.
Every day I was fucking grinding
Mm,
without the help. And by the way, in those first 6 months, I spent $15,000 on coaches that didn't
wow.
work. I got
Mm,
something from everybody. I always pick up some kind of thing, but overall they sucked. Like, those
mm,
coaches didn't help me. I didn't get anything out of it. I did not get an ROI. And it wasn't until I met Jeremy Pogue who changed my life.
mm,
Blonde-haired guy from Canada, from Kelowna, BC. And he was talking about running follow ads, Instagram profile visits. You run an ad, you boost a post, people visit your profile, you DM them, you book sales calls, you close sales calls.
mm.
So I hired Jeremy in about May 2023. From May to November, he took me from 0 to 20,000 a month,
Wow.
teaching recording artists how to produce music, charging them $3,000. That's fucking crazy. Quit my
Yeah.
jobs, went full time, all in. The year after that, I hired another coach named Austin Medlin who taught me sales. So Jeremy taught me marketing and Austin taught me sales, mindset, and operations. He took me from charging 3 grand to charging 5,000, and he took my close percentage from 18% to 36% in 8 weeks.
Wow.
Because of Austin, he helped me make 6 figures in 6 months, and I doubled my business from 2023 to 2024. So 2023, I did about 77K in my business, and then in 2024, I did about 145K. So double my
Wow.
business. Um, I self-sabotaged that business pretty much because I realized I was shitty at managing money and I was shitty at managing my emotions. So I
Mm.
self-sabotaged, the whole business blew up, decided to become a high ticket closer for another coach in 2025. For the first 4 months of 2025, that was last year, I was a closer for another coach. In 4 months, I closed around $150,000 cash collected for him. In 2 of the months, I did 132K cash collected for him. I closed in 8 weeks.
Wow.
I got fired from working for him because my last month I went 0 for 23, meaning the last 23 sales calls, I didn't close anybody
Mm.
because that entrepreneur made a ton of changes in his business and it messed up the lead flow, the way that our whole process was too complicated. I started getting upset. I was also not, I just was like, I'm overworking for this organization.
Mm.
So I ended up getting fired. The day I got fired, I was going to quit anyway, but he fired me. I was like, great, that makes it easier. In April of 2025, while I was working for him, so it was April was the month I got fired, I ended up closing $8,000 for myself for Music Money Mastery. I did like a soft beta secret launch for Music Money Mastery, and I got 5 clients and I ended up making 8 grand for myself. So when he fired me, I was like, well, I already made 8 grand for my fucking self. I'm just going to go launch my own offer.
Mm.
And then April, May, June, July, I went from 8K to 25K a month with Music Money Mastery. And then in however many 9 months that was, I did a little over 125K cash collected just launching my brand new offer. Um, so now we're here, 2026. I've now helped 2 of my clients get to 10K a month, which is pretty fucking cool. One of my clients just did it yesterday. She crossed 10K. First month we worked together. My mission is to look, I've been living my life full time as a musician for 3 years. I mean, I had that little stint where I was a closer in 2025, but that was only 4 months. Last 3 years, I've made a 6-figure income doing music. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. like a spring chicken because I'm fucking hyped for what my day looks like.
Mm.
And my mission is to help other music coaches do the same because I remember what it was like to wake up and fucking hate my calendar. I remember waking up being like, I hate my day. I hate going to school. I hate my jobs that I have. Like, I fucking hate this. Like, I remember living your life, waking up hating your life, going through the course of your day hating your life, going to sleep hating your life, knowing that you're going to wake up the next day the same. I transitioned from that. Now I wake up in the last 3 years. I wake up every day fucking hyped, fucking excited. I do what the fuck I want, when I want, with who I
Mm.
want. And I can barely wind down at night because I'm so fucking excited. And I still sleep like a baby.
Mm.
And now I get paid to talk to people on Zoom like you or my clients that are awesome. And I make music and I'm fucking happy. So I want to help as many musicians achieve that same thing as what I've achieved.
Awesome. That's a beautiful story. I love it. What did you learn while you were a high ticket sales closer?
That's a great question. No one's asked me that.
What were the primary skills you think you picked up there that made a big difference
Hmm.
in the way you approached closing? Because you talked about you self-sabotaged yourself, your other business. How did you overcome those?
Yeah. Well,
That's two different questions. So
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
start
No.
with
Well, to
one
answer
and
the first one, the number one key to sales, specifically in high ticket, especially if you're a music coach, is conviction.
Mm.
Okay. Y- A convicted closer will outperform an unconvicted closer no matter the skill set. Everyone
Mm.
knows that. My thing is, I have such a big fucking ego and I'm a control freak and I don't like to do what I don't like to do. So it's really hard for me to sell something I don't want to sell.
Mm.
Now, as a closer, you have to be convicted. On the flip side, because let's think like business owners. If you're a business owner, that means you're going to hire a closer one day. So, as a business owner, how can I set my closer up to be successful? Your closer not only has to have conviction in what you're selling, but they have to have conviction in you.
Mm.
So, I've never sold anything that I didn't have conviction in, never.
Mm.
However, I've sold for people I didn't have conviction in.
Mm.
So you as the operator, if you're thinking I'm going to hire a closer, you have to have a fucking great offer. Your offer has to be dialed. You better get client results, or otherwise you'll never get anybody to close for you. And you have to be an entrepreneur and a founder and a person that your closer would have conviction in. Reverse engineering that when you're the solopreneur, because my audience is solopreneurs. And
Mhm.
they're probably gonna be solopreneurs for the foreseeable next 6 to 12 months. You have to have conviction in your offer and your program and your coaching. But guess what else you have to have conviction in? Yourself. If you can't look in the mirror and you don't have conviction in yourself as a person, you will not be a good closer for your own offer. So I talk to my clients all the time of like, bro, if you have shit sleep habits and shit eating habits and you don't show up for your fucking self, you're gonna pay me $5, $8, $10, $12,000 to teach you strategies, and I'm gonna tell you the strategy, and you're not gonna fucking do it. Because at the end of the day, you can't even show up for your fucking self. Paying me
Mm.
money doesn't mean you showed up for yourself. Because showing up for yourself is a daily, second by second task.
A habit or a routine, a micro habit. Success, I think, is a series of micro habits that, like,
Right.
like when you're into fitness. So, like, if you forget to eat well for like weeks, then you start notice, oh, I put on pounds. I'm
Yeah,
no
you don't
longer
forget.
looking. You know, fitness, I think, is one of the best way to kind of visualize progress that comes from discipline, belief, and keep it going, you know?
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why I love fitness, and a lot of times people don't do things that they really should be doing, like tracking their macros and things like that. "Oh, I don't like it. Oh, but I don't see results." Well, guess why? Because you're not in control of all of these other things that you have going on.
I'm
Very
glad you brought
interesting.
up the macros. I've been recently only on macros about the last like 3, 4 months is when I've been like really serious. And it's just to get on the macros thing because I'm gonna compare it to business.
Okay.
It's funny. I just was texting my I've got a lot of friends that are fitness coaches. And one of my buddies, I was texting him, his name's Elliot. I've been hitting my macros like pretty perfect. I mean, it's like it's hard to be exactly perfect. I'm like right there though. Like I'm as perfect as you can get. Like really easy. And it's fun. I'm like enjoying it. I'm like, this is so easy. I'm eating great food. And I always text him my macros and I'm like, men who can't hit their macros are pussies. It's so fucking easy. Eat fucking the right food. It's not that hard. So the reason I say that is because in business, like we really overcomplicate it. Like we overcomplicate it and like I learned that um I learned that to make like just let's just say like 20,000 a month in profit, which is not a lot of money, but it's life changing. If you're making zero, fucking from 0 to 20,000 a month in profit is fucking life changing money for sure. And to be honest with you, like a lot of people are like, oh man, like I want to get to 100 grand a month millionaire. Dude, let me tell you something. You might be happier at 20K a month because your life's so easy at 20K a month. Like when you make 20K a month in profit, or even top line revenue, spend 5K on ads, make 20K, 15K profit, zero team members,
Mm.
zero team, save for taxes, groceries, bill. It's just like you have literally no fucking stress at 20K a month. None. You make tons of profit, you pay your taxes, you pay your bills. To get to that is actually hella simple and easy. Like it's super simple and easy. And it's under fucking whelming.
Hmm.
It's just like hitting your macros. It's like, dude, to hit your macros, chicken breast instead of steak, egg whites instead of eggs, cottage cheese instead of fucking yogurt, veggies instead of bread, or veggies instead of fucking pasta, rice instead of pasta. It's just like, it's so $20 a month for MyFitnessPal. It's really fucking easy. Push, pull legs. Don't work too hard at the gym. You don't even have to kill yourself at the gym. Don't work hard. You don't need to do abs or cardio, and you could still be looking great. It's just like, damn, dude, it's not that hard, huh? The problem is we talk ourselves out of doing the easy shit because we have the trauma of our inner child that's unsolved, and that
Mm,
kid is still inside of us yelling, screaming, throwing a temper tantrum,
mm,
and we fuck ourselves. And we just can't sit, we can't just like sit in the grass barefooted and meditate. We just cannot do that with
mm,
our life. It's always got to be something. Something else, something else. It must be something else. If it isn't doom scrolling, it's a new YouTube. If it isn't this coach, it's a new tech. It's always got to be something. There's no way it could just be all about chicken breast. It is. It is. Try to make the chicken breast taste better. That's the best advice I can give for you. Try to make your ad strategy simpler. It's that fucking easy.
mm. I like how you draw the similarities between the two, because if you think about it, it is simple, but we like to overcomplicate it in our head. But you laid it out very simple. You know, you have all the and so many people talk about it. I think sometimes or a lot of times the issue is the no action. Like you
Mm,
might be knowledgeable in the thing, but you might be just stuck with, oh, I don't know how to get started. We'll get started. And I've experienced that, you know, and I consume way too much information on something. I saw this post online, which was this really cool. I might have to find it. I, it had to do with if you don't know something, you need education. If you're educated, it's like kind of like a funnel type of thing. And it ended with like basically you have to act on it because otherwise you're gonna be stay in the same home. One of my teachers told me that any decision is better than no decision at all. And then
yeah.
you'll learn from that decision. You just
Yeah.
gotta make up your fucking mind.
Yeah.
And
Paralysis by analysis. People have that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And sometimes making a faster decision and see where that goes and kind of, correcting or course correcting is better than doing nothing. And the past like couple months, because I told you I got into course creation. I said the same thing, like, what? Course creation. And I have in Hungary, in my last 2 years of high school, I was teaching in that high school extracurriculum classes like guitar theory, music theory, and things like that. And I love giving back. Like I'm super passionate about it. And of course, as a music producer, like some of the things you do is coach the singers, be the therapist. Like
Yeah.
do all these hats of things. You wear more than just a couple of hats. You basically manage a lot of times a lot of these artists and try to guide them through whatever is going on with their life to get the best performance or whatnot and learn to communicate differently because some people can't take direct communication, but I love that you're so direct. Like I don't have to ask. I don't have to ask. But I've
Thank you.
learned in the past for some people that I mentored, they really didn't like me being super direct and they shut down. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
but most of the best teachers that I've had were always super direct. And I'll be honest with you, I had teachers who were so direct, I cried. I was like, what the fuck is this? But now I felt like the really the need for me to do a different choice. And because of that, like I had a one guitar teacher at Berkeley, and he because of him, I'm able to play all the freaking triads, open, whatever on the guitar. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have done it. But he was so harsh and realistic, and all the other teachers, like one of my mentors who's I'm doing this whole course thing with, he looked at my background and said, dude, not saying it to hurt your feeling, but your background sucks. And I'm like, shit. And he's like, you're a good videographer. And I'm like, yeah, but I may have overthought this and I lived in the whole paralysis of not doing. And I'm like, shit. But now, just like you, I wake up super early and I work pretty much all day, and I love it because I sit down and I have the setup. I don't have to fucking worry about where do I put a camera, what microphone I'm putting on, because everything is set up. And I just, like, I'm so glad that I started going and doing more guitar videos because I'm getting more and more results there, and I'm so motivated, to do it. So a lot of it is showing up for yourself and making choices that leads you towards, where you want to go. And I know that was kind of very simplifiedly said, but just like you said with the macros, it's simpler than you think.
Yeah, it is. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up the like the paralysis by analysis thing. That's pretty interesting you bring that up because this week I had 2 sales calls where each one of them was extremely overly analytical and needed time to chew on it, needed time to think about it.
Mm,
And what I've come to realize, and I guess now I'm sort of using it as an objection handler, but I'm actually not trying to use it as an objection handler, and I'm not trying to close the sale.
mm,
My philosophy is money loves speed. And if you want to be successful in your business, you have to move fast and
mhm,
not waste time. Like that's a truth that I live by because I've experienced it, because I've heard my mentors tell me that. So when I'm on a call with a prospect and it's the hemming and hawing and the, well, what's the cost per lead? What's the cost to acquire a car? What's it going to be? It's all this stuff. It's like, I will objection handle them because I love the game and I do want to serve and support them. But I know that I'm going to get to a point where I'm ready to leave.
mm,
Like I will not stay on a sales call until they close. I will leave. I'm out because I'm like, dude, even if you pay me, you're probably not going to get results because this is how you are.
mm,
Now, if we do this and you're just like, fuck it, let's go, great. But to be honest with you, if this is how you're going to be in the program, you will not get results.
mm. I
Um,
see.
Yesterday I had a call with my client. I had a call with my client, Allie, and she's got, I don't want to reveal all about her business, but she's got like a client that's pending that's about to pay her. She's about to cross 10K for the month of January. First month working with me. I've never had a client first month hit 10K. That's
Wow.
cool. She will not be the last, but this is the first for me. And I'm like, okay, you're interesting because you're the first client I've had where that's happened. And to be honest with you, I've been in lots of online communities. It's very rare you get somebody to get results that quickly.
Hmm.
So I asked her, what is it about you? Like, what's up with your mindset? What's what's going on up in your head? Why do you think and I told her, I said, because not all my clients get results as fast as you. Why are you different? And she said, I have burned the boats. I have no plan B. This is everything.
Mm,
I have to make this work. And I realized she didn't give herself the room to overthink. She's an overthinker, but
mm,
she didn't give herself the room to overthink because she's like, I don't have the room to overthink. I don't have the room. I don't have that breathing room to overthink. I'm not comfortable in my current state. I need to get better. So I'm going to do
mm,
this. And she's gone all in on my system. And I have a video of her on my Instagram of her literally saying, this system just works so well. And I'm just having so much fun. And so when I get prospects who are hemming and hawing about all the numbers, I'm like, dude, look, honestly, but this ain't it. I don't even want your money because you ain't going to get
mm.
results anyway, even if you pay me. So fuck it. I'm like, hey, like, I'm cool. I'm like, dude, I'll dip. I'm good. Like, I can leave. I'm fine. Like, we don't need to do this. I don't like doing follow-up calls unless I
Mm.
really need to. Like, I will give certain people exceptions based on their current situations if they need a follow-up, because there are certain times. But most of the time, if it's I need to think about it, I need to chew on, I'm like, we ain't chewing on shit, brother. Go hire someone else or don't hire me. I don't want to fucking play that shit.
Now, do you say that? Or
Yeah.
how do you wow,
Kinda.
okay.
I mean, I don't say it that harshly, but I will say it the way I just said to you previous, which is like, look, dude, this won't work if this is how you're gonna be. Like, I'm like, dude, the system isn't that complicated. It's not that hard. It's not
Mhm.
that, but you already told me earlier you don't think you can do it on your own. Duh, that's why you came on this call. But like, dude, like you need to be able to move with speed. And if you can't move with speed, even if you pay me, I won't be able to help you. So like, why don't we just
Mm.
call it a no? I'm like, "Dude, I'm fine. I don't need your money. I'm fine with calling it a no. I don't care. I'm good." It's like,
Okay.
I'm dipping, and if they pay me, great, and if they don't, fine, fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Uh,
But you have to have the abundant mindset, bro. Like, I have the abundant
mm,
mindset. It took me 32 years to develop it, and it's been really difficult for me, but you have to have an abundant mindset to be ready to walk away from a sale. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't need your money. Getting clients is easy, and I'm grateful for what I've got. So I don't wanna work with some fucking overthinker and shit. Like, I'm good, bro. Because dude, Danny, like,
mhm.
the reason I don't wanna work with overthinking, over analytical, slow moving clients in my music business is because when I work with a client, I over deliver so much, and I dude, my day today is wall to wall with one-on-one calls with
Wow.
clients. Like, I do one-on-one coaching. I write your ad scripts, write your offer, give you a DM template, review sales calls, and I get on group calls, and I do
Uh,
Slack, text, and voice support. Dude, I'm like my friends are like, "You're fucking stupid. Like, you're never gonna be able to scale your business." I tell my friends, "Fuck you,
mm,
watch me. I'm gonna scale with
mm,
one-on-one." My point being, though, bro, I fucking sink into my clients all I'm, like, making dinner with my wife, and I'm fucking Zoom slacking or not Zoom, I'm voice noting my client.
wow.
She's like, "Get the fuck off Slack. Stop talking to your clients." I'm like, "That's me." So, dude,
I
my
get it.
people don't understand that. They think, "Oh, well, I'm paying you 6,000 or I'm paying you $10,000." I'm like, "No, no, you don't understand. You're gonna get more out of this than me.
Mm,
So I don't wanna work like, 10,000 won't be worth it. So I don't want the money if it's gonna be a pain in the ass for me."
mm. I very much feel you on the over deliver thing.
Yeah.
I've always had that as a kid. Like somebody tells me to do this, and I'm like, it's always gonna be like way more. Like I like to give more than what I'm expected so that they're extra happy with that. That's why I love working with people who are easy to work with and they're respectful for your time. I love the confidence that you have to have confidence not in yourself, not just in yourself, but what you're selling and the abundant mindset. It's a lot of mindset and stuff that you're saying. And I love that, I don't need you. I don't need, necessarily your business. But if you're going to act like this, just like what you said, then, it's not a good match. I had a sales call yesterday and it was interesting because then I saw different posts on it on Facebook, and this guy was looking for like a videographer for like a 3 to 4 times a week get together for like 3 hours per occasion to shoot for an artist. And I was on the phone with him,
Wow.
and he was looking for and I'm like, look, I think I didn't say I think I said. I'm your boy. Like, this is what I do. I love working with artists. I've done documentary films. I love capturing the natural essence of like the whole process, story base, like when you're an artist, people love to connect with you, not some artificially made up thing. And and then I gave him like a quote. And then he was like, "Oh, what if you just use your phone or something?" It's like, just because I use my phone, now my services are worth less. Like, I have literally a tremendous, like, awesome gear here that I've used to create really good content with. And then he comes back. Wait, I forget to tell you. So before that, he told me that it's a famous band in Europe. He can't disclose the name. They're American. I'm like, okay. And then he comes back to me and says, "Oh, we just changed it. It's once a week for 3 hours." And I said, "Okay, well, if you put me on like uh, what is it called? You get paid monthly, a retainer, like I'll do it for this much." And since then, he never came back to me. I'm like, how can you say that you're working with like a famous band and they don't even have they have a subpar budget for creating content that they
Mm,
hope to get results with? And I'm like,
that's crazy.
it's crazy, man. Like, if you're a famous band, not even famous bands have hired me for thousands of bucks to create videos and stuff.
Was this the
And
manager or who was this guy?
I think this guy was. somewhat of a role who does marketing, but he said, "Oh, we don't want to do marketing type of stuff. We want to do very organic." And I'm like, "Okay, well, all of it is gonna be like behind the scenes and things like that." Like I've got a good, very wide variety of portfolios, so there's no freaking magic there.
Dude,
If
one thing you could try to do too, like that's one thing I've tried before. Like, and I guess this is a sales tactic, but I don't mean it as a tactic. I just genuinely, this is what I genuinely like to do.
mm,
So in sales, the thing that I do that's like the opposite of what everyone else does when I get on
mm,
sales calls, I love pushing people away from me in discovery, like all the
mm,
time. I fucking love doing that all the time. And in objection handling, I'm just like, dude, go do that. I'm like, go do that. Like I had a guy um one time say, well, if I pay you, I, I could just take the money I'd pay you and just go run the ads. I'm like, well, why don't you just go do that then?
whoa,
Go do it. I think you
interesting.
should do that. And I love doing that because what I love to do is I love to help people find the best path for themselves.
Mm,
And if that's what they think the best path for themselves is, then that's great. However, in a sales call, most of the time, what they're going to tell you is all the fucking problems they have. So here's
mm,
how usually sales calls go. In discovery, all they do is tell you about their problems.
mhm,
Then you give them the solution, and then they tell you why they can't do it. And it's like, no, you told me your problem. I gave you the solution. Now you can't do it. They compete with themselves.
mm.
And so, as the sales professionals that you and I are, we need to be able to say, well, then why don't you just go back to having your problems? Go back to have your problems then.
And you say it just directly like that?
What I
Or
mean, yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
will. Yes, I will. I'll frame it to their problem though. I'm like, well, dude, you came to this, you came to this making 5K a month, but you want to make more. So then go back to make 5K a month then, if that's fine with
Mm.
you. I don't care. Go
It's
back.
just funny because it sound like they wanted somebody with experience, but they wanna pay but they wanna pay the wage of, like, somebody just bought an iPhone 17 Pro
Bro,
Max and a
good.
gimbal. I'm like, well, you know,
Yeah, and it's like good for them. That's
it's not the
fucking
same
good.
thing. I mean
You can also like what I'll do is I like to sometimes you gotta educate them. Sometimes you gotta be like, "Hey, man, if you wanna spend 300 a month or 500 a month for a videographer, that's awesome. Here's what you'll get, just so you know." Because a lot of times, bro, and this isn't their fault. The problem is their egos make them seem like douchebags, but it's
mhm,
not their fault. The problem is their expectations and the reality are so out of whack that they
mm,
don't know, they just don't know, and so they're gonna come off like a douchebag. And
mm,
you and me are gonna sit there angry, being like, "You're a fucking idiot." But we need to have the abundant mindset to realize it's not their fault that they're fucking stupid and acting like a douchebag. It's not their fault. We need to educate them. And so when you come from a place of abundance, you're like, dude, listen, if you wanna like for me, dude, go spend the money on the ads. Go do it. But if you knew how to run the ads, you'd have done it by now. We would have never had this sales call. So clearly, you just going to spend the money on the ads wouldn't work. We've already proved it because that's why you're here. So even you said you could just go spend the money on the ads, but you don't even think that's the solution. And then they're like, fuck, he's right. I mean, but I'm abundant enough to educate them.
mm,
And I'm abundant enough to be ready to get the fuck off the call anyways.
mm. I love it.
Yeah.
I had a couple of thoughts in my head, but I'm just immersed in what you just said.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean,
Oh,
that's the hardest part about sales is being able to control your emotions and control your mind. You know,
okay.
all these things that sound like word tracks and objection, they are word tracks and objection handlers, but they're so innate to me because I've paid so much money and I've done my reps. So everyone's like, "Oh, your sales tactics." Like, "Oh, I know that sale." I'm like, "It's not a fucking sales tactic, bro." You know, the guy was like, "Oh, you're pulling the sale away. I know that sale." I'm like, "It's not a sales tactic, dude. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go have dinner. I'm hungry. There ain't no fucking tactic here. I don't need to
Yeah,
work with you, and I'm ready to go cook my chicken breast. So what are
mm,
we doing?" Like that. There's no tactic. I
I
don't
get
give a
it.
shit. So, but yeah,
That reminds me of what my teacher said, who was very harsh on me. He said something like that, like, I'm here for you. I don't need to be here. Like, this is all the stuff that I'm showing you that can better you as a guitarist that you need in real life, in real world. You don't need all those crazy jazz chords, you know? But, so earlier you talked about the self-sabotaging and things like that. A lot of it that I'm hearing is a lot of mindset thing, internal things that you can do, one can do to be a better conveyor of your value, of not being needy and things like that. Do you think a lot of artists, musicians are not reaching their goals because some of these skills they haven't practiced, earned, or learned?
The mental skills specifically?
Mental skills,
Hmm.
yeah. So, like, how did you overcome when you earlier you told me that you had a period of your business adventure or venture where
I love
you
that word,
felt
business adventure. I'm gonna start saying that. I love that you said that.
when you were in your own adventure, your journey, your business journey, first, how did you realize that A, you were self-sabotaging or you were the one you were the one between successful Lee and an I don't want to use unsuccessful, but
I get what you're
between
saying.
potential fulfilled. But I hate using these words because it's such like I don't like the word talent or genius. I think these are like vanity words because
Sure.
it's like saying that you're good at something because you were born with like an innate gift, but I think you're practicing and you get super freaking laser focused at it, and you do it so much that you can't be good, not good at
I
it, you
agree.
know. So it's like you said, you wake up every single day and you're excited about learning, excited about your whole day and things like that. I said a lot, so let's unpack on that other question of A, how did you look back at where you were mentally and say, "Okay, I need to change this and in my mentality to move past that hurdle."
So, I mean, you can always just look at your outcomes and your external. Your external is a reflection of your internal.
Mm,
So if your external is not where you want it to be, that means you fucked up internally, and it's a
right.
our current state and our current situation is a result of our past actions.
Mm.
So if I looked at my external state and I'm like, things are not the way I want them to be, and it's because of how I've acted up to this point in my life. The
That was
the
very
the thing about
well
the
said.
past, I think, I think the past is a bitch. The past is a bitch because it's like, God damn it, I wish I had just known that in the past, but you
Mm,
don't know it until it's the past. And that's why you don't want to reflect on the past too much, you get depressed. But yeah, I mean, I looked at my external and I'm like, look, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not making 100K a month. I don't own my Porsche Macan. I don't have my mansion. So things aren't up to the level I know I can be at. So why not? There's other people
interesting.
who are younger than me who have these things.
Mm,
Why not? Not that those things bring happiness. We don't want me to go down that route, but the amount of money in your bank, the amount of money in the bank, the number on the scale, the house, the car, these are reflections of your internal state and what you've done up to the past. They're not what your judgment, dude. There's plenty of rich people who don't drive nice cars. That doesn't mean they're poor. It just means, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, like, I mean, dude, the biggest one was just like, I'm still getting better, but like managing cash flow is like a skill that I suck at. And a lot of people suck at. And so it's like, I've made how is it that people and me included have made hundreds of thousands of dollars and haven't kept hundreds of thousands of dollars? Like most of the entrepreneurs that I know, I'd say 99% of the guys that I know that make lots of money, that are on the wins channels of their coaches' coaching programs, have not kept any of the money they've made.
Mm,
I know coaches who've made seven figures and have $20,000 in their bank account within a year.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, so it's like, it's not just me and the six-figure people, it's the seven-figure people too. So
Mm.
that's part of it, bro. It's also like money management. And so when I realized, holy fuck, I suck at managing my money. That's insane. I'm really bad at it. So that was kind of, it was like the external stuff really made me reflect on the internal, and it just made me lock in and make a change.
Do you have somebody who holds you accountable?
Yeah, I have like a financial advisor that I'm working with right now. His name's Eduardo Leo, and he specializes in online coaches. So he's
Mm,
basically like it's like a done with you fractional CFO. It's really cool. He like
mm,
comes into your business, helps you set up your system, manages your shit with you, looks at your shit, tells you where the money should go, helps you set up your system. It's like he takes the financial stuff off my brain. And he's also one of my best friends, so we talk frequently. So it's a good
mm.
it's a good relationship. Basically, he was like, "Look, dude," and I was like, "I don't want to hire you because I just rather would learn how to do it myself." And he was like, "Well, how long has it taken you to learn the sales and marketing?" I'm like, "Probably like 10 years." He's like, "Do you wanna take another 10 years to learn the money, or do you just want me
Woo!
to do it?"
That was a good one.
I was like, "Good point." So I hired him. He's like, "Dude," he's like, "If you hire me, you just fast forwarded 10 years." I was like, "Great, you're right, I'll hire you." And so I hired
Wow.
him. So, yeah, he's my guy for that.
That
If
was
anybody wants a referral,
yeah.
I'll refer you to him. He's the fucking man.
Wow, man. That is awesome. I don't know if I mentioned to you in our previous call, but after I finished school, I one of the worst decisions I made, which at the point I didn't think that obviously, was to get into business with friends solely.
I've done
With
that.
without understanding what individually and together our financial needs would be, and also I became their support system and how they were able to stay in the States, so it was a lot of internal things, and
Okay.
none of us were good at all these skills like client acquisition, how to charge, how to handle hard clients, difficult clients, overthinking clients. It was like a 5, 6-year-old ongoing loop of not going anywhere, and
Mm,
nobody thought about, "Why are we still doing this? Like, why are we like, we can still be friends, but obviously this is not a workable solution that is being actively brought further." And we worked with very good people. Well, we had good success that looked good, but like what you said with the cash flow, like 6, 7-figure people, by the end of whatever time frame, they still had a little smaller amount in their pockets. Like we have all this portfolio, but yet it wasn't scaled up.
right.
And after a while, of course, my parents, my wife, were like, "Hey, you're so good. Like, why don't you do it yourself?" And I'm like, "Oh, but we're so good. We're so talented, and the
Right.
potential." Again, I'm coming back to like the potential. That's why it's such a bullshit word because it's meaningless until you gave it meaning by actually having strategies and having um not just personalities, but, skills that work within the group. So if they're
Yeah.
doing the same thing you're doing, why are you like Alex Hormozy, and I know you're an Alex Hormozy fan, I can
Yeah, he's dope.
tell. I can tell, and I wanna
I'm a lot less than other people, and I'm less than I used to be, but he's dope as fuck. His book, $100 Million Offers, changed my life for sure. But some people fucking I don't know. Some people worship the guy. I'm like, dude, I don't worship anybody. Like, people are a little too obsessed, but no, he's
mhm.
dope as fuck. I fuck with him. He's cool.
So he's got, like, acronyms, and I remember reading his book or listening to his book when he talked about, like, here are the 5 things you gotta, you know ask yourself or ask, before you partner with somebody. And I'm like, oh no, none of this ticked off. And I'm like, shit. And it was a long time to make, it took a long time to make that decision because it was coming from a place of fear. Like, what will happen to them if I make this choice for myself? And I'm like, oh, but am I allowed to make a choice for myself? Which was a stupid thing to think about because you ultimately have to make choices that puts you in a better position so you can also help other people, if
That's
that
right.
makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I think
Sure.
it makes sense. But and then we decided to split, and it was just me and my other friend, and we had the same freaking cycle. And then I split, and that's when I started to notice so much incremental changes in my business that I said, "Okay, now I wish." That's why I refer back to what you said, that past is a bitch, because you're like, "Well, if only I had trusted myself sooner. Only if I had done this and that or went with my gut, then but it doesn't fucking matter anymore. What matters is like you said, the past made you that, and however what you're deciding to do will define your future. So you got to have these sort of questions to check on yourself and your progress, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Um, dude, real quick, I do have to go. I have a sales call in 4
All
minutes.
good. All good. Oh my. So Lee, where can people find you, and what do you want people to know about you, Lee? I mean, they
They
can
kinda
know
know
a lot.
everything, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, best place to find me, I would say my YouTube channel, Leezy the Gifted. Yeah,
Okay.
Leezy the Gifted is the best place to be my YouTube channel. Um, if you're a music coach and you wanna build your music coaching business, DM me on Instagram at Lee Nathan Litvin, Litvin. DM me on Instagram at Lee Nathan Litvin on Instagram. Go check out my YouTube channel, though. I've got hella videos on there that are gonna give you a ton of value. Leezy the Gifted on YouTube, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for Lee. Really, I appreciate this conversation. It's something that I wish I got in when I got out of school. I wish schools had changed what they taught, because a lot of things schools nowadays teach. I don't even want to say nowadays. I think it's applicable to say schools don't teach these very important things to how to succeed in your career when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, no,
you
they
know
don't.
so I think these are incredible things. So when you go to school, you not only pay for school, but then you have to pay for coaches.
Right, right.
You have, but school is already so expensive. But anyway, people like you are incredibly important. So again,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you for chatting with me, and like, share, and subscribe, and you'll see more Caffeinated Creatives videos in the channel. Check it out.